Welcome back to the Everton Extra channel. Today I'm going to be looking at 3 players Everton could sign in the January transfer window, ideally on a 6-month loan until the end of the season. With the recent news of Danjuma looking likely to return back to Villarreal and then probably ship back out somewhere along the lines of Lyon or somewhere like that, it's mandatory now that Everton bring in another winger or another midfielder. Despite what Kevin Talbot said in the article saying Everton believe they don't need to strengthen, I think Everton do need a few more players for depth. I think we've struggled off the bench a lot this season, so we definitely do need a few more players going into the second half of the season. Now, the first one I've got on my list is Hannibal Mejbri. Obviously, hasn't played too much for Man United this season, and he's available on loan. He's only played 5 games this season for United, getting 1 goal. But he can play anywhere. To be fair, Mejbri can play central midfield. Even the Tunisia sporting director said playmaker, deep line playmaker, defensive midfield, and even winger. So I think having a player like that with that versatility, obviously similar to James Garner as well, I think something like that is definitely needed for Everton in the second half of the season. Someone who can literally just play anywhere when needed. I think he's fierce as well, as exactly what Dyche wants. He puts 110% effort in, and I thought he was good, to be honest, when he went on loan. Obviously Birmingham's not Premier League standard, but he was good when he was on loan. He's a regular starter for his national team too, and he's not going to the AFCON, which is good news for people who want to sign him on loan. I know Fabrizio Romano said there's a few clubs looking to sign him, but I do think Mejbri could be a good signing for Everton for the second half of the season. And on Mejbri, obviously when he's in his past seasons at Manchester United too, he hasn't had too much game time. I think this is his most playing time he's had since he joined Manchester United. He's obviously played 5 games, but even in the academy too, I thought he was unbelievable, and there's obviously a reason why they've signed him from abroad. He's still only 20, he's born in 2003, but someone like Mejbri definitely be helpful for Everton going into January and stuff like that. Next one we've got is Reece Nelson. Obviously will be a 6-month loan again, another one who isn't playing too much. He's played 9 games this season. He only played 11 in total last season. I'm not too sure, but I'd say most of them are probably off the bench. Play right wing, left wing if needed, and obviously, like I said, with Danjuma potentially going, I think Everton do need another winger, and I think even if Danjuma stayed, I think it's mandatory that Everton get another winger, whether it be in the summer or January, because there's just not a lot of depth there. I think we're 1 or 2 injuries away from being completely, to be honest, in the winger position. Obviously Harrison puts a shift in week in, week out, so does Dwight McNeil, but if one of them gets injured, we've got to rely on Danjuma, who sometimes isn't up to scratch when he's called upon. He can sometimes be a bit lazy, but someone like Reece Nelson, I think he could different sort of signer for Everton. I think could be good. Nelson said he prefers playing on the left wing. Obviously, then he can cut in onto his right foot. I don't think left wing's too much of the priority. I think more right wing, to be honest. I think McNeil offers good cover for Michalenko defensively and does a lot of offensively as well. But I don't think more depth in them positions would go to miss. To be honest, I think we definitely do need to strengthen in the winger positions. Now the next one is Emile Smith-Rowe, who obviously has been shown in the media that he hasn't had too much game time this season, which has really surprised me, because I think at one point Smith-Rowe was captain of Arsenal, but he's only played 6 games this season and only played 12 last season. Obviously Smith-Rowe is more box to box or attacking midfielder, but there's a player in Smith-Rowe, and on a 6-month loan, I think that could be good for his career, to be honest. I think just to to get him back playing, get him back fully match fit, get him playing week in, week out, and I think he'd be good under Dyche. And don't forget, in 21-22 season, he had 12 goals and assists. I think he was only young. He's still only fairly young now, but Smith Rowe be definitely a good addition for Everton. I think a versatile player again. All three are all versatile, can play in different positions, all very young too. And I'm not sure what it is, whether he's had a falling out with Arteta or what, because there is, like I said, there's a player in there. And he's had... Smith Rowe's one of them players who always comes up on the radar now and then, and he's always sometimes shining and sometimes he's not playing, but he's still only 23. And you don't get given the number 10 shirt at Arsenal for nothing. He must be decent. 6 months, second half of the season, 6 month loan. There's not too much that can go wrong, to be honest. I don't think he'd be on incredibly high wages, and I think it'd be good for both parties. He could get, a bit of depth in Everton's midfield. Obviously, with players like Gay and stuff like that going to the AFCON and Doucouré being injured, it's definitely something we need to strengthen on, and we get it done early in the transfer window. That would be ideal, because we're going to be missing Idrissa Gueye the whole of January, I imagine. So yeah, we definitely do need cover there as well as a winger. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and follow us on Twitter, and keep up with all the transfer news this January.